Namaskar, everyone, and welcome. My name is Sandhya, and I will be guiding you through your yoga practice for today. Today, we'll be doing a heart-focused yoga flow with an emphasis on chest openers, back bends, shoulder stretching opening. So for this, I'll be offering modifications where possible, but please always listen to your body as you know what you need best in this moment. Just closing the eyes, we'll come to our centering to open our practice. Connecting with the breath, bringing the attention to the breath. Notice each inhale and exhale. And we'll bring our attention to the center of our chest, to our heart center. Taking a moment to open ourselves up to this practice. And to welcome the presence of all of our guides and masters of light, including our own Guru, Sri Vasudeva. May we always feel worthy of the divine grace. Centering in that heart space. That warmth and openness. We open our practice with 3 Oms. Gently breathing out. And in. Keeping that awareness of the breath, that openness, feelings of peace. We gently open our eyes. And we'll come to our pranayama breathing exercises. So starting first with the breathing exercise, we'll do our cleansing breath to prepare ourselves, to prepare our bodies, and just clear out any stale oxygen in our lungs that's maybe built up overnight through our shallow breath. And again, I encourage, as in most classes, to pay special awareness and attention to the energy behind the breath. So that prana that continues to move even without the gross breath coming into the nostrils. Just notice how that feels. We'll begin breathing out first. Hands relaxed, breathing normally here. Deep inhales and exhales. And just notice any experience. And then we'll gently open our eyes and we'll come to our next exercise. So this will be a heart chakra focused breath using the Ujjayi. So the breath is Ujjayi with a focus and attention and awareness in the center of our chest. I like to start with my hands in the center of my chest to keep my awareness there, and then I remove it as I come into it. So just that reminder, the Ujjayi breath is the ocean sound, the victory breath, and it is a slight constriction at the back of the throat. So if you're trying to fog up a mirror or a window, or if you're trying to say ha, ha, with lips closed. So closing the eyes, keep that focus at the heart center. We'll be here for a few minutes. And then we slow the breath and we take normal deep inhale, releasing the Ujjayi. And observing, witnessing without judgment, the experience in the inner space here. And then we gently open our eyes and we'll come to our next pranayama breathing exercise. And this is our bellows breath with the Ujjayi. So instead of the inhale and exhale through the nose, we're going to do it again with that constriction of the epiglottis, which just provides more subtle movement and a subtle awareness. And it helps bring our attention more inwards, as opposed to just taking in the oxygen. So we use the arms here, and most of the movement is happening in the chest. And the arms are moving as if they're a bellows. So you imagine that opening and contraction as you're doing the breath. And again, always notice that experience, the energy behind the breath as we take it in and exhale. So we do a cleansing breath out, and then we'll go right in. And relax, breathing in normally through the nose. Exhale, sigh it with an open mouth. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, sigh with an open mouth. One last time, observing, regulating the breath. And take these final moments here. Noticing where you are from the beginning and now at the end of your pranayama practice. And then we'll gently open the eyes and we'll begin with our asana practice. So we'll come into our warm-up. If you're sitting on a cushion or a block or even a chair, you can come off of it. So we're going to start first by straightening the legs out in front of us and giving it a little bit of a shake. Maybe we were sitting a little bit for a while with crossed legs. Let's bring the soles of our feet together. And we're going to gently just move the knees up and down here. So it's not a quick movement. Controlling the movement with the hip flexors and the hip muscles would actually be more of a challenge than just letting the legs flop open and close. Back is as straight as you can do so comfortably. And we're trying to isolate this movement. And then we can relax from here. We can keep the legs where they are, just moving the feet a little bit more away from you. So your feet are in a wider, more diamond type shape. And then we're going to come into a gentle spinal twist here. So we're going to take our left hand and bring it to that right knee. Right hand reaches behind you, behind the back. Fingers are on the floor for supporting the spine as we look over that right shoulder. So the breathing is a little bit constricted in our twist. We keep our breath slow and even. Okay, and then we'll come back into center, twisting to the other side. Right hand on that left knee now. Looking over that left shoulder. Good, and then let's come back into center. Releasing the legs. We're going to come onto our hands and knees in our tabletop position for our cat and cow series. Again, working on spinal flexibility and starting to open up that chest. So if you need to provide additional cushioning, you can use a second yoga mat, a towel, a cushion. I have an extra thick yoga mat, so I'm good here. On our exhale, belly draws in, chin drops. Inhale, spine curls the other way, looking up. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. One more inhale. And exhale back to our neutral spine. We're going to curl our back toes. And we're going to push back into our downward dog here. Lifting the hips up. Taking as wide a stance as you need to, and bending the knees as much as you need to as well. Then we're going to slowly walk the feet forward to meet the hands, coming into a gentle forward fold here. So letting the Head hang heavy, grabbing opposite elbows if your hands don't comfortably reach the floor. Maybe gently swaying from side to side here. And then let's come back into center. Slowly rolling up one vertebrae at a time, tucking the chin into the chest. Head is the last to come up. When we reach the top, we roll our shoulders back and down. So we'll come into our Surya Namaskar, our sun salutations for our warm-up. If you're familiar with the practice, you can go ahead and do your own modifications or your own postures, but I'll offer them as well. Inhale, hands together. Exhale, hands up and back. First, big back bend of our practice. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, bend the knees, step the right leg back behind you. You can stay up or drop onto that back knee, looking up. And then we're going to retain our breath, either staying on your knees, leg joins the other, or you can stay into your high plank. Coming down, knees, chest, chin, tailbone is high. Release the tops of the feet, and we inhale up. Baby cobra or a full cobra, depending on where your spine is in terms of mobility. Exhale back into down dog, inverted D. Coming into tabletop as a transition before you push back if you need to. Inhale, right leg steps back forward. So coming onto that knee if you need the extra support. Other leg joins, forward fold, exhale, inhale, back bend, and exhale. Inhale, hands to center, and exhale, palms together. Inhale, back, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, left leg back, coming onto your knee if you need to. Retaining the breath if we're able to, coming into our plank on our knees or toes. And then we exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale up, cobra. Another back bend. Exhale back into our inverted V. So coming into tabletop if we need to, and pushing back. And then we inhale the left leg forward on our knee if we need to. Exhale, right leg joins. Inhale, hands up and back. And exhale, hands down. Inhale, exhale, palms together. Inhale, back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, right leg back. Retain the breath. Other leg joins. Knees, chest, chin. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, inverted V. Inhale, right leg forward. Exhale, other leg joins. Inhale, back bend. And exhale, hands down. Inhale, exhale, hands together. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, left leg back. Retain, other leg joins. Knees, chest, chin, exhale. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, inverted V. Inhale, left leg forward. Exhale, other leg joins. Inhale, back. Exhale, down. Inhale, hands together. Exhale, palms together. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, right leg back. Retain, other leg joins. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, inverted V. Inhale, right leg forward. Exhale, other leg joins. Inhale, hands up and back. Exhale, hands down. Last one. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, left leg back. Retain, other leg joins. Knees, chest, chin. Exhale. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, inverted V. Inhale, left leg forward. Exhale, other leg joins, forward fold. Inhale, hands stretching back. And exhale, hands down. Bringing the feet hip distance if they're not already there, palms turning out. Closing the eyes and just observing again. Noticing if the heart is moving a little faster. Okay, and gently opening the eyes. Bringing a little bit of movement, a little bit of playfulness, we'll begin to swing the arms back and forth. Maybe tapping at our sides here, but also just enjoying this little bit of movement. Okay, and so to introduce a little bit of joy into our practice, we'll do another breathing exercise. This is a 3-part yogic breath, but with a little bit of movement, a little bit of playfulness. It is aptly titled The Breath of Joy. So it's a 3-part breath. As we inhale and into our navel, our arms come out to shoulder height. As we inhale the next portion, into our chest area, our arms come out to the side, pushing the chest out. And then as we exhale, filling up that last part of the lung, that clavicular area, our hands come up, and we exhale with a ha, ha. And we'll get a little bit of momentum, a little bit of movement. We'll do a few of these together. So I invite you to play with me with this exercise. Ha! 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 Last one. Ha, and hang out here. Hang out in your forward fold. Notice that little bit of extra heat maybe you've generated. Tucking the chin into the chest, slowly coming up to a rise. Coming back up to stand, rolling the shoulders back. Well, while we're standing, we'll come into our balancing postures for mental focus, but these will have a chest opening heart component. So taking the right leg forward, we're going to turn the palm out of the left hand, and hold on to the ankle of that left foot in that hand from the inside. And then we're going to find a focus and balance somewhere on the ground or the wall in front of us. Our arm reaches up, and maybe we stay here. Maybe we work on balancing here, and maybe pushing the chest forward just a little bit. Or maybe we begin to kick back into that foot. and that hand. That foot kicks back into that hand, and we'll use that to push the chest forward as the back begins to bend backwards. The chest opens, and then we start to hinge forward. Holding and breathing, finding a focus, finding a balance. And we slowly come back up if we were leaning forward. Hand comes down, we release the foot and give everything a little bit of a shake. We will come onto the other side. Turning now the right hand out, holding on to the inside of that right ankle. Left hand reaches up and maybe we stay here and find our balance. Or maybe we begin to kick back into that hand. Using that kicking back to help curve the spine, chest pushes forward, and the back bend happens almost naturally. We're not forcing it. It happens when we kick back into that hand. And maybe we hinge a little bit, but we don't want to lose that opening of the chest. And then slowly we come back up as we hinge forward. Hand comes down, we release the feet. And we give everything a little bit of a shake here. And let's come into one more balancing posture. This is our tree posture. Turning the right toes out, sending the energy, the attention, and the focus into the sole of that left foot. We pick up the right, and maybe we bring it just against the ankle. Hands come to heart center. Maybe we move it up to the calf, or maybe we even move it up to the thigh. And we find our focus and balance, and maybe we stay here. If we would like to add a little bit of a heart opening, a little bit of a chest stretch, we can reach behind ourselves and grab opposite elbows, or we can try and find a reverse prayer. Palms come together in the center of the back. This stretches across the shoulders, maybe provides a little bit of a stretch to the chest. Remembering you can also grab opposite elbows here for a little bit less intense stretch. Just remember which arm you had on top. With my right arm on top. So when I do the other side, I'm going to make sure I put my left hand on top. And if you want to even go further from here, you can introduce a little bit of an additional back bend, turning the gaze up to the ceiling. And then we'll slowly come back up as we were bending back, release the arms wherever they are, release the feet, and give everything a little bit of a shake. Doing anything you need to. And then we will prepare for the other side. So spreading the toes of the right foot, we send the focus and attention down. Left leg comes against the ankle, the calf, or the thigh. Hands can be at our heart center. Or remember, we have the option of that chest stretch, a little bit of that shoulder opener. Grabbing opposite elbows, just putting the other hand on top that you didn't do last time, or finding your reverse prayer. Remembering you can also add that additional back bend, looking up towards the ceiling, if you'd like that additional challenge. We slowly come back up, releasing the arms, releasing the legs, and give everything a final shakeout. We're going to come down onto our mat, so inhaling the hands up and back. One final standing back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Plant the palms. Step back onto our knees. Spreading the knees as wide as they can. Toes can come together to touch. We're going to come to our child's pose. Head can rest on the mat. If it can't reach the mat, you can also stack your fists, stack your palms. If you had a yoga block, you could also use that. We take a minute here, and this is preparing us for our next chest stretch and back bend. Good, and then we're going to slowly walk the hands back towards us. Keeping the knees wide if you're able to, we're going to bring the hands behind us. Fingertips can face forward. And we're going to push onto our hands, and we're going to come into our baby camel posture. So not the full expression of camel. Pressing into the palms, lifting the hips. And maybe letting the head drop back if that is comfortable and possible for you. Breathing into that chest space, feeling the strength of the body, the pull of the muscles, feeling the power. And feeling that opening of the chest. Maybe the energizing of the heart here. And slowly let's sit back onto the heels. And we're going to walk the hands forward and come into our child's pose. Just for a few breaths here. We will be repeating our baby camel. You can also choose to stay in your child's pose if that is not comfortable for you, to go into our second round. And then we're going to slowly come up, bringing the hands back towards you. We're going to prepare for our second set, our second camel posture. Fingertips pointing towards you, pushing into the palms, lifting the hips, maybe letting that head drop back, feeling the opening of the chest, bringing the focus and awareness to the chest as you hold this posture. Breathing in deeply, and as long as there's no pain, see if you can breathe into the stretch, breathe into the challenge. And then slowly releasing down. Once again, let's come into our child's pose. Good, and then slowly we'll come back up and we'll come into a seated posture here, and we'll let the legs come out in front of us. So we're going to first start with our forward fold to prepare ourselves for our next back bend posture. So inhale the hands up. Trying to keep as straight a back as possible here. If you had a cushion and you noticed your legs were a bit tight, you could bring the cushion under your knees just to provide that additional support. And then we're gonna fold forward. So try to keep a straight back as much as you can, and when you can't reach any further, just to let yourself fold and relax into the posture. Holding anywhere that is comfortable for you without pulling on your legs. Deeply breathing. Maybe noticing with each relaxing breath, the body naturally comes deeper into the posture. And then we're slowly going to come back up to a rise, tuck the chin into the chest and slowly roll up. And our chest opener for this, I'm gonna bring our hands behind us and we're gonna come into our reverse plank or reverse tabletop, depending on what's accessible to you. So our reverse plank is when we, with straight legs, press into the soles of the feet, press into the palms, lift the hips up, and let the head drop back. Our reverse tabletop is the same thing with bent knees. So letting the head relax in both instances, feeling the opening of the chest, pushing into the feet and palms. And then we release. We're gonna come one more time into that forward fold and one more time into our reverse plank or tabletop. Our forward fold is gonna be a little shorter this time. So reaching up and forward. Holding anywhere so that you're not pulling. And we're slowly going to come back up. One more time, we will find that reverse plank or reverse tabletop. Lifting the hips up, pushing into the palms, maybe dropping the head back. Focusing on that chest area. Holding and breathing. And release down. We're going to come into another spinal twist now that our back and body is a little bit more warm. Left leg stretches out, right leg crosses to the outside of that left foot. Left hand reaches around the knee and right hand reaches behind. Again, we look over that right shoulder. Another way to deepen this posture is to take that left arm, bend the leg, take that left arm on the outside of that right knee and try and hold on to that bent left knee, looking over the shoulder. Otherwise, you can keep the leg straight and just hug the knee. Holding and breathing. Really feeling the stretch and the twist. And slowly releasing. Other side. Right leg stretches out, left leg crosses over. Maybe we hug that left knee into the chest, looking over that left shoulder. Maybe we bend that right knee and reach around to grab that right knee if we want to deepen. Otherwise, the leg can stay stretched. And we slowly release. Draw both knees into the chest and hug your knees in, tucking the head in, making yourself into a small ball. Good. And then we're going to come onto our back. So first start by drawing the knees into the chest and just rocking from side to side here. And then we're going to prepare ourselves for our fish pose. Another back bend. So straightening the legs out. Taking our hands, palms facing down, and bringing them under our lower back, under our sit bones, under our seat area. And then we're going to press into our palms, press into our elbows, maybe walk the elbows a little closer together so you can bring them to touch, pushing the chest up and letting the head fall back. We want to lay our head down so that the crown of the head is resting on the back. Depending on our mobility and our flexibility, this may be a bit of a challenge. Holding here, if you're able to, taking deep breaths. Maybe it's a little bit less and more the back of the head, resting on the mat, but we're working towards getting the crown. Feeling that stretch, feeling that opening. This is a very deep chest stretch. All the attention and focus and heat and warmth and awareness goes here from this deep opening that we're doing with our physical body. But if you can notice if there is a subtle energy, a subtle experience behind the physical stretch. Good, and then we're going to slowly come out of it, picking the head up, lowering back down and releasing the arms. We're going to take a few moments here. While we're not coming into our final resting Shavasana, just give yourself an opportunity to rest for a few breaths. Noticing and being aware of the effects of the feelings that arose during the posture, or maybe that are coming up now. And then let us come into one final chest stretch, chest opening. This is our bridge pose. Remembering that if anything feels like it's too much, you can always just rest and join back into the practice when you feel ready. Palms pressing down, we lift the hips, bring the hands under, maybe trying to bring the shoulders closer together and clasp the hands. We hold and breathe here, feeling the stretch. A little bit of an opening in the chest, maybe a little more in the lower back. And let us lower down. And we'll draw the knees into the chest, giving yourself a little bit of a hug, maybe rocking from side to side, rolling out the lower back here. And let us roll onto our bellies. And once we come onto our bellies, we're going to come into our Sphinx pose. So shoulders are under the elbows, palms are flat on our mat here, and just gently pulling the chest forward. Now, if you'd like to deepen here, you can actually come into seal pose. In this case, the hands reach more out on an angle, so not the hands are no longer in line with the shoulders, they're wider. Pushing onto the palms as we push the chest up. This deepens it and maybe introduces a little bit more of a lower back stretch. So you decide what works for you. Maybe take a more passive posture as we're starting to wind down our practice for today. And we're going to take a compression in the chest. So we did a lot of chest opening, chest stretching. We're going to do one compression here. So I'm going to stretch my left arm out and I'm going to thread my right arm through under the armpit area, palm facing up, resting it. And then I'm going to rest my head onto the mat if I'm able to. If you had a block, you could do that as well. And slowly we're going to come back up, taking the arm back out, right arm comes straight. Take a moment here to just stretch out. And now the left arm threads through under the right, palm facing up. Trying to bring the head, forehead onto the mat, onto a block. And slowly we're going to come back up. And left arm stretches out, giving the whole body an opportunity to stretch here. And we're going to come back onto our back. So bending the knees, planting the soles of the feet down. We're going to come into one final shoulder compression to complement the one we just did. This is our eagle arms. So we're going to take the right arm under the left, palms together. Trying to bring the shoulders and elbows in line. So maybe picking up the elbows to bring them a little higher. Holding and breathing here. And slowly uncurl the arms. Bring them out, shoulder height T position. And then the other side. My left arm is coming under the right, hands are coiling around. Making sure you just do the opposite side from what you've already done. And then slowly releasing the arm. Stretching the legs out. We're going to come into our final Shavasana very soon. I'm just going to introduce one exercise before we go into our final Shavasana. So taking the right hand and just gently resting it on the heart, relaxing the elbow down to the mat. And similar to the beginning of class, we'll breathe in and out with a focus on that heart chest center. So with our focus on the chest and that heart center, we're going to inhale as if we're drawing the breath into the chest, into the heart center. And we're going to exhale as if it's also coming out from that heart center. Breathing for a few moments here with that awareness, with that focus and attention. And then as we're doing this, begin to generate a feeling of gratitude in your space. Feeling of love, of compassion. Maybe that feeling comes from thinking of a loved one. Maybe it comes from generating the warmth in the heart space. in gratitude to our Guru, Sri Vasudeva, the guidance of Kundalini, the Guru power, higher energy within us all. Generate gratitude and warmth in this space. Maybe that feeling of warmth and gratitude and love starts in the heart center. Then feel it permeating, spreading throughout your entire body. Feel it radiating like the warmth of a sun, filling your entire being. Bring that gratitude and love as an energy, filling your being, filling the space. And then imagine that love, compassion, warmth, gratitude spreading beyond your body, sending it out to all those in need, to your world around you, those you know who need loving support. To the entire world. Let us stay centered in this space of infinite love, goodness, peace. As we go about our days, and be a blessing to our world. And take the hand from your heart. And then slowly, we call our attention back to our bodies, to our physical bodies. Deepening the breath, lengthening it if it became shallow, making it more gross, more physical as we bring ourselves back. you ground in any other way, pulling up on the perineum, maybe energetically or physically, you can do so. And then let's slowly, maybe wiggling our fingers and toes, drawing awareness back in this way. Let's turn our hands overhead. We come into a tall stretch. Feet in the hand, extend away from each other on the mat. And then we slowly curl onto one side. And let's push ourselves up to a comfortable seated position when you feel ready. Bring the hands to the heart center. Take a moment now just to thank all of our guides and masters of light, including our own Guru, Sri Vasudeva. Thank ourselves for choosing to be here and practice, and to each other for co-creating the space. And we'll close our yoga practice with 3 Oms. Breathing out. And in. Om, peace, peace, peace. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaskar.